Isang makaboteng umaga ng Sabado sa ating lahat mga ka-mushroom, and ang tanong is, when is the best time to harvest our oyster mushroom? Remember mga ka-mushroom that size is not an indicator of when to harvest. Bigger mushrooms are not always better, if not the best. Most times it means they are overgrown or sobrang ripen na sila. The best time to pick mushroom is kung yung cups ay turning to form convex or concave. Ibig sabihin, turning down to turning up of the cups after the first mushroom begins to form, uh, and then you have to harvest it 3 to 5 days later. You have to keep an eye on the largest mushroom in the group as it goes from turning down to turning up of the edges of the cup. So how to harvest is we have to twist and pull mga ka-mushroom. Ano-ano nga ba ang mga signs ng overgrown mushroom? If hindi natin sila i-harvest on time, our mushroom will overgrow and become spoiled. Yung mga signs tulad ng darkening at the edges of the gills and cups, we have to avoid getting the edges too dark by harvesting at the right time. Another sign is drying out or hardening. The oyster mushroom that has been left to grow for a longer time than the others would will dry out or harden, and it should have been harvested sooner before it gets dry. Therefore, mga ka-mushroom, timing does matter when harvesting our oyster mushroom. It makes all the difference in terms sa taste, texture, at appearance. Pag hinarvest natin too early, they will be small and less flavorful. But if you wait too long, they will become tough and rubbery, magiging makunat na sila. Therefore, the key is to harvest them at just the right time mga ka-mushroom. Nakikita niyo ba itong maliit na insektong ito? This black insect is called shard fly. Shard fly is one of the most common and most damaging insects encountered when growing mushrooms indoors, also called as fungus gnats. These flies can destroy a fungus crop that leaves mushroom brown, leathery, and inedible. To deal with this problem, you may find time to watch my previous video on oyster mushroom pest and management. Since these past few days, it has been raining, and I observed that most of my fruiting bugs were producing pinheads. So, naisip ko mga ka-mushroom na may relationship talaga yung rainy season with springing up of mushrooms. Bakit kaya ano sa tingin nyo ang dahilan? But I'm still positive na mas maganda pala yung hindi masyadong mainit ang panahon para mas maraming tutubong oyster mushroom. So, naka-harvest na ako. Tingnan nyo mga ka-mushroom, hindi ko na siya hinintay na lumaki pa siya ng masyado sapagkat nagproproduce siya ng spores. Ibig sabihin kung may mga tumutubong spores na, ripen na talaga yung oyster mushroom or sobrang na siya, mature. So, before na magkaroon ng spores, you have to harvest your oyster mushroom. So, I just split these types of the oyster mushroom, removing some debris coming from the substrate. Nakikita nyo dito mga ka-mushroom na or na-observe ninyo na kapag nababasa yung mga cups ng oyster mushrooms ay nagta-turn into yellow. So, iwasan na mabasa yung mga tumutubong hindi pa mature na oyster mushroom, even the pinheads na hindi mabasa para hindi sila mag-yellow or mag-cause ng drying up. Especially kapag sobrang mainit na ang panahon. So mga ka-mushroom, alisin lamang yung mga hindi na kailangang parts ng ating mga na-harvest. And these are freshly harvested oyster mushrooms. At alam nyo mga ka-mushroom, mabilis lamang na tumubo ang oyster mushrooms. So within 24 hours, kung i-video lang sana natin, makikita natin paano sila kabilis um, tumubo at lumaki. And it's so amazing na within 24 hours, may malaking pagbabago doon sa appearance ng mga tumutubong pinheads. Sa packaging, mga ka-mushrooms, hindi natin pwedeng hugasan ang mga na-harvest nating mushroom sapagkat ito ay magiging dahilan ng mas mabilis na pag-rotten ng mga na-harvest na oyster mushrooms. Magiging slimy sila, magiging very soft, at masasayang lamang. Ano ba ang mga ginagawa ninyo, mga ka-mushrooms, kapag kayo ay nag-harvest ng inyong mga oyster mushrooms na hindi pa agad-agad na nabebenta? So, may mga ways to store oyster mushroom. Una is inside the fridge. Pwede siyang up to 1 week. The best way to store mushroom can be stored in the fridge for up to 1 week without a problem. And if you bought them pre-packaged and wrapped, then you can store in the packaging. But remember na lagyan ng butas yung plastic that would allow air to flow and prevent from condensation sa loob ng plastic packaging. And ano pa, pwede ring if you prefer buying them fresh in bulk, yung mga maramihan ang pagbili from the farmer's market, you are better off storing them in a paper bag or uncovered on a paper towel in the bottom drawer of the fridge, doon sa area kung saan nilalagay natin yung mga vegetables natin. Mushroom is stored for a long time tend to release moisture dahil ang katawan ng oyster mushroom basically is made up of high percentage of water. And this moisture, basically, kapag nakulob sila, nakulob yung mga oyster mushroom sa loob ng plastic bag, ay magkukos ng rotting. Okay? And that would prevent them from going bad. So, ayan mga ka-mushrooms, nalagyan ko na ng label yung ating plastic bag at isa-isahin nating ipasok doon sa loob ng plastic packaging natin yung mga na-harvest nating oyster mushroom. Iwasan na diinan yung paglagay sapagkat pwedeng masira yung cups ng oyster mushroom na pinapackage natin. Another way of preserving the harvested oyster mushroom is putting them in the freezer that could last up to 1 month. Freezing, mga ka-mushroom, is a great option if you want your oyster mushroom to last for a month and not go bad. They can be frozen either raw or pwede mo na silang i-blanch and then ilagay sa plastic packaging and then put or store them in an airtight container or in a freezer bag and then ilagay sa freezer to make them ready for use again. All you have to do is you have to thaw them for a few minutes and then they'll be good to go for cooking. Another one, in the pantry, hayaan mo lang but it only lasts for up to 48 hours. Depende din sa temperature dun sa loob ng inyong kitchen. Kung mas mainit, mas madaling mag-dry up yung mga nakatiwangwang lamang na oyster mushroom. Okay, another one is actually dehydrating them up. That is good for up to 6 months. Ibig sabihin that dehydrated mushrooms last up to 6 months on the shelf when done for commercial purposes. Mushrooms are usually dried using a vacuum or some other complex dehydrating instruments or equipments. If you want to try dehydrating mushroom sa bahay nyo, meron namang food dehydrator. That is the easy way to go about it. But in the case that wala kayong dehydrator, a simple oven and a wire rack or a microwave will do. Um, Another easy way to do it is to air dry them in direct sunlight, mga ka-mushrooms, para sure na ma-preserve sila and it will last for 6 months. Another way of preserving your oyster mushroom is canning. Pwede siyang hanggang 1 year yung shelf life. So, tinatawag itong pickling. Pickling oyster mushroom is a fun way to preserve your oyster mushroom while also giving them a unique taste. Not only that, itong method ng preservation will allow them to keep for a very long time but also turn them into excellent toppings for your sandwiches, pizzas, burgers, and many more. Ito yung ginagamit kong vacuum sealer, mga ka-mushroom, para iseal yung packaging natin. At mamaya lalagyan ko na lang ng butas yung gilid-gilid or surface ng ating plastic bag para meron ding part kung saan pwedeng lumabas yung gas sa loob ng plastic bag para hindi masyadong mag-condense or mag-produce ng moisture sa loob ng plastic bag. Maraming salamat, mga ka-mushroom, for watching. God bless.